Well, it's time to focus once again on one of our pirates, and for the second edition running we're going to focus on a man who's travelled the length of the world, across the world, to join us here at Poole. He started his career at Poole, and now in 2003 he's back. Leigh Adams. Leigh, thanks to Tony Millard, I think everybody knows that you're the man from Mildura, but tell us exactly where Mildura is.
Mildura's, how can you put it? It's a little country town. It's on actually the Victorian and New South Wales border. Inland, Adelaide, Melbourne-ish. You know, you kind of go inland. So yeah, it's a nice little town. It lives on a river, and you know, we get a lot of irrigation from the river to wine grapes, oranges, you know, stuff like that. So I'm actually brought up on a farm. I think we've probably got 60 acres of land. So yeah. I
know that racing in Australia is very different. So at what age did you perhaps first put your toe in the water?
I race mini bikes. Obviously, that's where everybody grows up, you know, through. So that was from probably 7 till 9. When I turned 9, I still was involved with junior motocross and all that. But we got junior speedway, and yeah, got involved with that at 9, and went from 9 to 16 in that. And it's just it was a natural deal. You go into the big bikes and try and come to England as quick as possible. So I was fortunate enough. Phil Crump was like the hero of Mildura, and you know, sort of followed his footsteps, which was good.
Well, I was going to say, is it common for the riders, obviously over there, to want to come to the European scene, because obviously that's where the action really is?
It is common, yeah. It's just a known thing. You got to get to England to further your career. Really, we haven't really got enough racing in Australia, and there's a lot of travelling involved if you do want to chase it. So you come to England, further your career, and you know, hopefully it goes on to bigger and better things.
Okay, now you obviously started in 1988 across the water. Was that your first visit to England itself?
Yeah, I came over in 88 just to have a look. Poole invited me over, and I really just came for 6 weeks just to have a look and see what it was all about. Really saw what it was all about, and went back and sort of got prepared for 89, which was my first full year here, and it was obviously second division here then, and we managed to win the league, so that was pretty memorable.
It's a huge wrench, obviously, to uproot and come across the world to live in England. What do you miss about living in life in Australia? Perhaps the climate, for one thing.
You know what? I get the best of both worlds, really. I enjoy Australia when I'm there. Obviously, I'm there for 4 months. It's summer, it's Christmas. I get to spend time with my family and everything, so that's good. But you know, also I like the time that I'm here. I spend 8 months here and get on with it. It's you know, obviously the weather doesn't let you do a great deal, and my schedule doesn't let me do a great deal. So I just get on with it and work pretty hard whilst I'm here, and go back and enjoy myself in Aussie.
Does the family get to come to stay over while you're in England?
Yeah, you know, we've got 2 houses. We've got a house in Australia and a house here, and call them both home. Really, you know, it's weird. When you're in one place, you call the other home, and you know, we're pretty well settled now, so that's nice. It was pretty hard back when we first came over. It was luckily we didn't have kids, I guess, and it was just Kylie and myself, so that was good.
Obviously, as a rider at the top of the profession, travelling plays a huge part in your working week, and I guess throughout the year, but particularly in Europe, you're travelling between Poland, Sweden, England constantly. Just describe for us a typical working week, a day at the office or a week at the office for Leigh Adams.
A week at the office is pretty horrendous, really. It really just depends on what happens in England. Basically every Sunday, or 90% of the Sundays, I'm in Poland, and probably 90% of the Tuesdays I'm in Sweden. So normally I fly to Poland Sunday morning, do the meeting. On Monday is my lay day, so-called. I fly into Sweden on Monday. I get to normally my hometown about 6 o'clock, have a meal and just veg out, and that's kind of a relaxed day for me. You know, obviously you're flying all day, but you got no pressure, or you don't have to meet deadlines, or if the plane's late, it's no big deal. You know, you just put up with it. So, and then Tuesday Sweden, do that, and then fly back in. I get to Heathrow at 1 o'clock and come and do Poole Wednesday, and then depending on what could happen, I could be Thursday, Friday, Saturday somewhere. But you know, 9 times out of 10, there's just one in between those 3 days. You do a Friday, Oxford, or you know, whatever, and that's your week. It's just gone.
And we throw in a couple of Grand Prix just to make it interesting.
Yeah, the Grand Prix are a different deal. You know, that's every 2 weeks when they do start up, and it's been okay because Cardiff lobbed in the middle of quite a busy patch, and it saved a lot of travelling, so that was nice. And again, it's like today I'm here, and I've got a completely different setup to run British League, and my motorhome's leaving at 6 o'clock today to go to Copenhagen. So I got 3 bikes in the motorhome, 2 bikes here, and 2 different lots of mechanics and whatnot. So it's a lot of organising, and you know, I haven't got a manager to organise all my flights and that. So it's a lot of work for everybody, myself, family, you know, everybody involved.
I was going to come on to mention the team, because we talk about these team situations now, and Speedway certainly advanced in that area. Tell us a bit about your team, because you've mentioned a little bit there.
Yeah, I got a really nice setup around me. Obviously, my wife's a big thing. You know, she's fantastic. She puts up with a hell of a lot with 2 kids, and you know, she's got just as hard a job as what I got, really, just running the household. So it's good to have support there. I got a great full-time mechanic, Billy. He's a Polish lad, and he's going really good. I got Terry Broadbanks. He pretty much helps me day to day, and goes to all the GPs, and actually a good sponsor around me with Owen Brothers, which is not really a sponsor now. It's kind of more of a family friend. So he goes to the GPs, and he's pretty casual. He's not a high-pressured sponsor that expects results and demands results, but obviously he's happy when they do come along. So the whole deal, the whole setup works excellent, you know.
Historically, over the years, you've ridden a lot with Tony Ricardson. I know that you get on very well. Do the two of you rub off on each other?
I think when I first went to Kings Lynn, that helped me a hell of a lot when I raced against Tony. Tony sort of, I guess, raised the bar those years in professionalism and bike preparation, and you know, he linked up with Carl Blumfeld and really worked hard on their bikes and lightning and stuff like that. So it helped me back then. I guess now it just spurs me on really to meet, you know, or to equal what he can do, and if not try and do better. So it's certainly not a bad thing.
Absolutely. Well, I think everybody looks up to Tony. In my reckoning, anyway, you're one of the most professional riders. You certainly have the right image. Do you think Speedway's got the right image at the moment? It's
definitely going in the right direction. You know, the television, Sky, obviously the GPs are working really good. We're getting into some nice stadiums, but you know, I think there's always room for improvement. But it's certainly a lot better, and I've got my testimonial this year, and you know, been here 13 years, and where it's come in that time. Well, basically when I first come over, it was doom and gloom kind of thing, and you know, everybody was pretty delirious and didn't know where it was heading. So to be here 13 years down the track and everything's positive, you know, it's a dream come true.
Absolutely. Well, now you're back at Poole. Everything going well for you here, and are you happy with what you've done so far?
Very much so. Yeah. No, I'm really happy here, and you know, I've just slotted straight back in. It feels like home, and everything's working great. So I can't complain at all. I really would like to get the league title for obviously Matt and all the supporters, mainly Matt and Middelow. You know, they've been working pretty hard and finished second, probably due to me a couple of times, and it'd be nice to bring it back to Poole. I think they really deserve it.
Well, you've tasted success yourself. It'd be nice to see that shared amongst the rest of the Pirates, and hopefully see you here for a few years to come.
Let's hope so. We'll have to see what happens.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for talking to us. It's been great to learn a little bit more about yourself.
Not a problem. Thank you.
Well, quite a revelation from Leigh Adams, but for now it's time to go back onto the track and join the Pirates, who are in the mood for a